Okay, friend, once again, a very good evening to all of you. My name is Ramzan, and in today's session, we will be learning all about data analysis using pivot table. And I promise you, in next 1.5 to 2 hours session, you will really become amazing. So what we will be doing is we will be taking a yearly data now, and on that we will be using a pivot table to create some amazing reports using slicers, timeline, and finally we will create how do you create an amazing, nice looking modern dashboard. Okay, so let's start with the session. So I will double click on my yearly data file. So I request you also to open a file, because this session is not just a webinar that I am just explaining. No, you will be practicing with me, but not with me together. I will explain you a topic, then I will give you time for practice, and then when you confirm me done, and then I will move to the next topic. So it is going to happen something like this. I will go at a very intermediate level speed because you wanted to understand, and then you will be practicing. So don't expect me to go very fast. Even if you know something and if you tell me, Ramzan, go fast, I won't go because other people are also there. So we need to take everybody into consideration. Some of you are good in Excel. Some of you are a little bit weak and might have not worked. So we will be going at an intermediate speed. Great. Let's start with the session. So this is the data, friends. So I come in the morning in the office and I see some data over here sent by my manager, or I downloaded that data from some of my CRM. And what happens is I see there are data of 2010 till 2021. So first I will see how many years of data is there, historical data. So I press over here a shortcut Control Shift L. Control Shift L. It is a shortcut for filter. So I press Control Shift L, and over here I click on transaction date, and first I see, okay, so I have a data from 2010 till 2021. So almost 10, 11 years of data I have. First is this. Okay, in this data, I have also a customer's age. So if my management wants to see, okay, from this group, what product they are buying or how much sales we are getting through this age group, then we should be able to reply. How people are purchasing without coupon, with no coupon, how people are paying through cash, Visa card, net banking. I wanted to know how many customers are through prepaid, postpaid, what is the sales happening through each mode, which salesperson is doing how much sales, each country how they are performing, each city how much performing, which plan is performing better, which plan is performing more better in which country, in which city. Every year what is my sales trend, every year first quarter what is the sales trend. So all this type of reports I wanted to create. And you don't know pivot, you come in the morning at 9 a.m. in the office, and you get a mail from your manager saying, hey, this is the entire data, can you quickly give me all these reports? What you will do, you don't know pivot table, you don't know count if and sum if formula, how you will do it, that we will be learning now. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing before creating a report is this. I'm really going to show everything practically and through my experience, how actually in company we work. Okay, it's not just a session to show you very interesting colorful thing. No, there will be lots of things where you will find challenging to do, but in the end the result will be amazing. So I request some of you, those who have not muted, just mute yourself, friends, so that it's easy. Okay, please mute yourself, otherwise I'm getting a little bit disturbance over here. Thank you so much. Okay, perfect. Let's move ahead, everybody. So I will open a notepad, and first I will tell you the steps which you should always do before creating a dashboard in Excel. Step number one, you have a data. The first part is data cleaning. Means whenever you get any data, you should see if the data is clean or no. What do you mean by cleaning data? if the spelling is mistake, like over here, one place you have written Abu Dhabi without space, and there is another Abu Dhabi with space. So now when you create a report, it will show you two different cities. One place it is written Ramzan, one place it is written Ramzan without A. It is a problem. One place you have prepaid, one place you have pre hyphen paid. That is a mistake. So you need to clear all this mistake. That is the first step. Or you have all these four Abu Dhabi written and it is like a merge cell. Now, when you have this type of merge cell and when you tell Excel to count, it will count Abu Dhabi as one. It will not tell you that these are the four records. So you need to unmerge it. So again, I will go here, I will click on unmerge and I say Control D. It will be filled, means all the cells will be filled so that it can count properly. If you have a blank rows in between, you need to select this and you need to delete the blank rows. This comes under the data cleaning part. You have unwanted spaces before the name or after the name. You have to use a trim formula to clean it. That comes under the data cleaning formula part. Okay. So the first thing what you should do before starting any data analysis is data cleaning process. If you have removed the unwanted space, your spelling mistake is correct, your date format is correct, you don't have a row blank, you don't have a column blank, your heading should not be blank. If you are clean with all these things, your report will be clean. If this is not, data is not clean, how you get then correct answer? Agree? The first is data cleaning. Second, very, very important step, convert your data into table mode. Convert your data into table mode. How you will convert? By pressing Control T. Now what happens, friends, is those of you who know a little bit of pivot will agree, will understand quickly. And those of you who have not worked with pivot table, it will take a little bit time for you. The point which I'm going to tell you now, I will make it simple for you. Now what happens, friends? You created a report on this. How much, how till which year data is there? 2021, 2021 till September. Now you got another data from 16th September till 31st December 21, right? October, November, December, 3 months data, and you take the data and dump it over here. When you put it over here, the report which you created, will it update? Will this data come on that? It will not come. Because when you create a report, you will create a pivot, you will select the data till here. So you have to manually increase the range. Got it? Those who know the pivot will understand what I'm telling, but other people don't worry, I will explain you. But if you convert your data into table mode, then in future, even if you add more data to it, you just have to say refresh. You don't have to increase the range. Another example, HR. Now you have, let's say, 100 employees in your company, and on that you created a dashboard, which we will learn now. After 15 days, you hire 10 more people. You added in the HR in the last records. Will that record also come in your report? It will not come. You have to manually increase the range. But if you convert your data into table mode, you just have to say refresh and automatically your data will be updated. Your reports will be updated. So this converting your data into table mode is very important. If you don't want manually to increase the range, if you are okay with manually increasing a range, no problem. After converting into the table, you will say insert pivot table. You will insert a pivot table and you will create reports. And then what you will do, you will bring all the pivots, or I can say reports on single sheet. On one sheet, you will bring all the reports together. You will add buttons and everything. And finally, you will add a sheet with the name dashboard, sheet dashboard. And in that, you will create nice looking charts. You will add a slicer and you will add a timeline. And you will do the formatting and your process is ready. In future, what will happen now? In future, whenever you get a data, new data, you dump it over here, right click on one pivot, say refresh, Halas, your all the work is done. Slicer, timeline, charts, everything will work. So this is a one-time process which you will be doing. After saying all these things and a 5 minutes of theory, now I think we should move ahead. Okay. So now I'm starting the actual session, friends. Okay. So now let's say whenever you download a data from your CRM or any of your software, mostly you are not going to get merge cell. You will not get spelling mistake. You will not get a blank row. You will never get the header blank. This all thing happens when when you manually enter the data. When you get a data from somebody data operator and he sends you the data, that time you get all these problems. Otherwise, you will always get the clean data if you are downloading from the CRM. Got it? Let's go a little bit more ahead. So now what is the second step over here is converting your data into the table. So I will put my cursor inside the data and we will press Control T. So I am pressing Control T and I will say, okay, my data has been converted into the table and also it became beautiful, right? Wait, after you convert a data into the table, remember one thing. When I say Control T, you should never select any column. Like you will not select like this. You will not select like this. You will not say Control and nothing. Just put the cursor inside the data and say Control T. When you say Control T, remember, here it asks you my table as header. So your table as a header, heading is there, no? Transaction, customer age. So this option should be on. And over here, you will say, okay. So your data got converted into the table. This is the first step. Now, this data got converted into the table. Now this is a table and Excel has given a name to this table for our reference. So the name of this table is table 2. Actually, it took table 1, but again I said undo and again I created table. So it took the name table 2. If you want, you can change the name. It's possible. So here when you go to the table design on the top, here there is a table name. So I say master data. Or if you want to keep table 2, totally fine, no issues. I have changed the name master data and enter. How I changed? I went to table design and over here I have changed the name. Done till here. Now I will stop here for 15 to 20 seconds and I want you to do this. And when you are done, in a chat box, type done. And then I will go to the actual process. Do it now, everybody, and reply done in the chat box when you are done. Okay, friends. So now we have converted our data into table mode. We have changed the name and now it's a time to insert a pivot. You will not practice with me. Just sit, relax, see what I'm doing, and then I give you time for a practice. Okay. So I put the cursor inside the data and I'm going into the insert and I'm clicking on pivot table. Why we are using pivot table? So that we can create a summary report on this huge data. This 4,000 records, nobody can understand. So I wanted to convert this data into the meaningful reports. Okay, there is one question. What is report and what is dashboard? So when you say country-wise sales, that is one report. City-wise sales, another report. Sales person-wise sales, another report. Year-wise sales, another report. When all these reports you bring together on one sheet, it becomes a dashboard. Understood? So what is dashboard? Dashboard is nothing but a collection of reports. So small reports, when you bring together, it becomes a dashboard. So now we will start reports and finally we will create a dashboard. Okay. So I have put my cursor, I go to the insert and I click on pivot table. When you click on pivot table, see what happened. Here it asking you table or range. He has took the table name, master data. We had given the name, same name came here. Okay? Now choose where you want a pivot table. You want pivot table in this sheet only on the right hand side, or you want to create a new sheet. We always take the first option only, new worksheet. Sometimes people say, okay, I want a pivot table over here. Then they should click on existing worksheet In the location, you will click here and you will click here. So your pivot table will come here. But that is very rare scenario. You will always say a new worksheet. So I click on a new worksheet and you will say, okay. As soon as you say, okay, you will see a new sheet has been added. Did you saw bit below sheet 1? And this is a place, everybody, where all your reports are going to come. This is a place where reports will be coming. And on the right hand side, do you see this pivot table list right side? These are the names of the column which were there in our data. Okay, these are the column names. And these are the 4 areas: filter, column, rows, and value. So now I will be showing you these 4 areas quickly, and slowly our session will move ahead. So the first report what I wanted to create was each person did how much sales. Simple report. So I will take a salesperson. You can even click like this on a checkbox, or you can drag also. Let me click. So I click on a checkbox over here, and automatically you see what happened. This salesperson came under the row. Here it came. And when it came here on the left hand side, I got all the names of the salespeople. See? And these are the unique name of the salespeople. These are the unique names of the salespeople. Now, opposite to it, I want a total sales. So I will come over here and I will say sales column. Where is my, oh, instead of this is an amount column. Huh? This amount column, which is a number column, you will always put it under the value. Actually, not always. Sometimes you have to group on the basis of amount, but maximum time you will put amount, which is a number column, in a value, so that it aggregates, means it does the total. So I click on an amount, or see I'm dragging now. I drag it in the value. So over here, I get sum of amount and you get sum. Even if you don't do like this, even you click on this the checkbox now, automatically it comes under the value. So quantity, price, sales amount, most you will always put it under the value. So you got the first report for today, row wise value. Now, whenever you put anything under the row, it comes from top to bottom. If you put under the column, it comes left to right. Wait, I will give you time. I take the salesperson and I put it under the column. You see what will happen. It will come like this: Abdullah, Alam, David, John. It is coming from left to right. And if you put under the row, it comes from top to bottom. So I will tell you when to put under the column. Let's say you created this. Abdullah, this is the total sales. Now this Abdullah did this much sales, but in which country he did the sales? I wanted to know. So I will take a country. Observe very carefully, those who are new to this. So I take a country and put it under the salesperson. So it will show me more in detail. Oh, Abdullah did sales in UAE, India, and Oman. But you see, there is a guy with the name Alam. He did sales only in Oman. David did sales in UAE, India, and Oman. So like this, you get it for everybody. Understanding? But now I will show you one interesting thing. Now here now, when you put the country, it came from top to bottom. Now I take a country and put it under the column. So you see how beautiful report it will be. Amazing. So when you put under the row, it comes from top to bottom. You put under the country, it came UAE, India, Oman in a column wise. And you see how beautiful it became. Now when I select,
I have a question.
1 minute, I will reply, and I say center. And now when you say center, you see, you get amazing. This is known as cross tab report. Okay, go ahead, sir, with your question.
Okay, so when you did the row labels for the salesperson, they were alphabetically sorted. But when you did for the countries, there was not.
Yes, you have to do that manually. Row wise, always it comes in a sorted form, but not the column wise. But you can do it manually. Even you can move it. That I will
So
show.
even when the country was in the row, it did not sort it.
Which one?
When the country was under the rows, under the salesperson?
Because it was a sub level. It was not the first level. When you put under the first level, then it will do. Second level, it goes sub automatically sorted, but you can do it manually. I will show you that as well.
All right, thanks.
Okay, everybody. So now over here, I will wait for a few seconds, let's say 30 seconds. And because while explaining, I took a time, but while doing, you will do quickly. So I want you to actually now go to insert, click on pivot, say okay, drag row is a salesperson under the row, drag column country under the column, and drag amount under the value. And then you make it and practice it. Like now you say you put country under the row and salesperson under the column. You do it. Okay. And here, see, now you got UAE first, then India, then Oman. Now I say right click, and then you have an option, sort and all, everything. But now here you have multiple level that is in column also, so it's not sorting. If it's only one level, then it will sort. I will show you that. So you just give it a try, okay, how it works. So you get a complete little bit hands-on on that. Okay. And when you are done, put it under the chat box, and then we will move a little bit more ahead. Good, Rija. Good, Sarah. Oh, Dinesh is also there. Good, Dinesh. Okay, everybody. So we are moving a little bit more ahead in reports. So first we will create reports and then we will bring everything together. Now I will show you a second and very interesting report wherein we will learn how do you do sum, how do you do count, and how do you do the percentage in a very quick way. And in one report, I want to show all the three things. Pay attention over here. I will come again on the data. Now you see, I have one sheet, this sheet one. If you want, you can just rename it. And let's say, for example, country wise. I just say country wise. Again, I go to the sales data and I'm inserting again a new pivot. So I say insert, pivot, and I say okay. Now, what is my aim? I wanted to know each city, let's say city I will take. Each city, what is the total sales? I wanted to know. So I click on a city. I got names of the city, A, B, C, D. Okay. And then you see, again, you have Abu Dhabi has come down. So again, I come over here on sales amount over here. There is actually one setting also, which I will show you. If sorting is not happening, then what you should do. That is also a setting. Let me right click on this and I say sort and I say A to Z. Now you see it's not happening. Did you saw? It's not happening. So there is one setting you have to uncheck it. Then your sorting will work. Otherwise it will not work. Let me see if I can find it out quickly now only before I forget. So you will right click on the pivot and there is an option pivot table option. Right click on the pivot. There is an option pivot table option. In that, my friend, let's see that setting. Here you get totals and filter. Do you see this sorting? Use custom list when sorting. You need to uncheck this and you just need to say okay. And now do you see the sorting is happening? This is one of the reasons sometimes people do the sort and it does not work. This is the setting which you have to uncheck. I will explain once again. Right click on the pivot, pivot table option, total and filter, and use custom list when sorting. Close that. And now you see the setting has happened and A2, A is Abu Dhabi and then U is there. Okay. So this is one small thing. Okay. So our aim is something different over here. You have created a city-wise sales. Now I wanted to know what is the average sales in each city. First thing. I also wanted to know count that in each city there are how many transactions happen, how many rows are there. And I also wanted to know the percentage. So more three things I need. You see how beautifully we will do and in a very simple way. This amount you will drag 3 times under the value. Okay, see like this amount, drag it under the value second time. So you get second column, drag the amount one more time under the value. You got third column, drag the amount one more time under the value and you get 4 columns. Achha, all the 4 columns you get sum only. By default, you will get sum. We will convert into the count, percentage, and average. Observe my screen. I come, sorry, I come on a second column. I will just right click on it. Right click on a second column because this is the sum. Here I don't have to worry. So I go on a second column and there is an option summarize value by count. Right click on a second column, summarize value by, and you will say count. And I click on a count. Done. 174 Abu Dhabi. Now, what is this 174 Abu Dhabi count? It is this. When I go to the data and when I say over here, for example, I filter on Abu Dhabi. So this is one record of Abu Dhabi. This is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, eight. Like this, when you count, so there are that many number of rows of Abu Dhabi. That is that count. Okay? Now, listen very carefully. The third thing. Right click on a third column. I again go to summarize value by. Now it is sum. Second column we convert it to the count. And now you will convert it to the average. Average. As soon as you click on average, you will get 6 decimals extra. So just come on the top, Control Shift down, just select it. And in the home, you get this option, decrease decimal. So I said decrease, 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 decrease. Khalas. So I got the average. The third column, I need a percentage. Means from my total, grand total, Abu Dhabi is contributing 91926 dirhams to the total sale. But that amount is how much percentage? I want to know that. So you will right click on it. And when you try to go to summarize value by to see the percentage, you will not get. So what you have to do is here, you just have to go down. So percentage option you get in below. Show value as, and there are lots of options, more than 13 options are there. We will see the first one, percent of grand total. Remember this, right click, show value as percent of grand total. Should I click on it? And wow, and it gave you the percentage. Means Abu Dhabi is contributing, oh, Muscat is contributing around 16%. Salalah is contributing amount around 15.6%. So basic, now this also can be done, a sort and all. But when you do sort on this, this will get affected because now Abu Dhabi is less. So naturally it will come down and then another option will go. So either you can sort on this or sort on this. Got it? Now what we will do is I will just change the heading city and I say total amount, or you can say total sales, total records, average sales, and you say percentage contribution. Then you can select it and say center. So you might be thinking, oh, how I will remember, I forgot everything. Don't worry. You don't have to do anything. I will tell you in few seconds how you do that. You take the city, drag it under the row. Done. Take the amount, 4 times, drag the amount under the value. 1, 2, 3, 4. This value which you see under the column, this I have not done. Excel has done on his own for his own reference. So you don't worry from where this value came, Ramzan. I have not done anything. This amount 4 times, drag it under the value. Done. What you will do then, you will come on a second column. Over here, summarize value by count. Done. Right click on a third column, summarize value by average. Done. Right click on a fourth column, show value as percentage of grand total. Done. Change the heading, do the center, your reports are ready. You see how beautiful and how important is this report. This is known as data analysis. That you have a big data, and from that big data, nobody can understand. You converted that data into the meaningful reports. This is actually the work. Understanding? Do it. I will wait here for a few minutes. And when you are done, put it under the chat box and then we will move ahead. Okay, everybody. So now I will rename this sheet as city-wise. Okay. So I say city-wise. Now we will do some very important thing. And now I will show you the concept of control T, the control T which we did in the start, how it affects your data over here. I will show you now. So now what happened is, this is a country wise and this is a person wise. So what happened is, now I came over here in the data and I came to know, oh, there is some changes. So what changes is there? So over here, there are name of the people, Abdullah, Alam, David, Nancy, and all. But there are few records in the data in the top who are not of this people. This data is of some another person. Any name, I said Dinesh, for example. So I type Dinesh. So in existing data, I am making some changes and I say control detail here. And I say control B just to show you. So in the existing data, I have changed something. Now what should I do? Will I create another report? No, you don't have to. You just come in the data and you say right click and you say refresh anywhere inside the pivot and you say refresh. So now you see Dinesh will come. So Dinesh and 6786, perfect, it's coming. And over here, he has added all the records of Dinesh till here. And I can see 66870. One more is there. 6786. Got it? So this way you update the report if you make any kind of changes in the report. Either you change the name, you change the amount, whatever it is. Okay. One is this. Another more important than this is this. Now you got a fresh data in another file. And in that file, you got the data, you will copy this data and you will paste it over here. I will give you some example. Wait. So what I will do intentionally is, let's say I copy this data and I am pasting this data down. I have copied some data from the top and I'm pasting it down. But when you paste it down, you should ensure that the data which you have pasted comes under the table. Means it should be also blue. And over here, bottom right, you will see one blue color mark. It should sometime this does not come. If you do wrong copy paste, it does not come and you will see data like this, white color. Okay, so if you get something like this, don't worry. You come on this blue color mark and you just paste it down. And now what I'm doing, I'm putting some new person name. And let's say a new data came and there is a new person. So let's say, for example, I put, for example, Arif and I drag it down. Now, when you do Arif, this is the extra data, correct? Now, when I go over here, now what I should do? I should say refresh or I should increase the range. If you have not converted your data into the table in the start, then what you have to do, you have to go to pivot table analyze. Those who work on pivot, they know this. Those who don't know, for them, they go here and they click on change data source and then they increase the range. This is the method. But now our data is in table mode, so you don't have to worry. You just have to right click and you say refresh and below you will see Arif will come. So you're good enough. How, why you got Arif data? Because your data was in table mode. That's why doing control T before creating pivot is always recommended. Otherwise, you have to drag the intentionally. So this was one part which you should know. One is making changes inside the data. One is you add extra data and then you do it. Halas, done. Now we will move a little bit more at this. So it's just 5 seconds job. So you can practice it next time when I give you time. Now I'm moving ahead. Now we will move to the next report. Now I wanted to create yearly, monthly and quarterly report. How do you do that? Very interesting. And we will learn a new option over here. That is your grouping. So I will put my cursor inside the data. You will go to insert. You will say pivot table. You will say okay. And this is my transaction date. I want like this coming from top to bottom. So where you will put transaction date? Under row. So I drag a transaction date under the row. So I get all the years from 2010 to 2021. Did you observe something? I drag transaction date under the row, but Excel on his own created the date hierarchy. So you see year and quarter, correct? Year and quarter he added on his own. He created the date hierarchy. This is your hierarchy. Okay? And over here, you got also the plus. When I click on the plus, you get quarter. Under that, you get the month. Wait. Now I will go here and I will say amount. Amount where you will take, you will put it under the value. So I got each year, this much is the sales. So my manager tells me, Ramzan, now I want it expanded. Like in 2010, each month, what is the sales? Or in 2010, first quarter, second quarter, third and fourth, what is the sales? Show me that report. Simple. Here you will use a grouping option. So you will right click on a pivot table. You will right click on a pivot table and there is an option group. Remember this. Right click on a date. There is an option group. In group, it will ask you that, hey, which report you need. Now year, quarter and month all are selected. So I will uncheck the quarters and I say, show me year wise and month wise only. And I say, okay. And it will expand on its own each year, each month. Beautiful. Again, I right click on it. And again, I say group over here. And I say, hey, show me quarter wise. And I will uncheck the month. So it will show me each year, each quarter, how much is the total sales. How I'm doing? Right click on a year and say group. And you get each year, each quarter, how much is the sale. Should I tell you something more interesting? If your management wants to analyze, okay, 2010 first quarter, this is the sales amount. If they want to see the sales trend of each year, first quarter, what is my sales trend? So every quarter, every year is mentioned, but all are little bit far from each other. Like quarter one is over here of 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, and it goes on. So your manager will be confused seeing up and down. How quickly you can make this some customized or consolidated. Yeah, consolidated is the correct word. You can bring all these things together. This you will do. You will take this transaction date and put it under the column and your work is done. Lovely. See this report. Now, if I tell you to do this report without using a pivot, you will take at least 25 to 30 minutes and you don't know how accurate it is. And here you get everything amazing. Got it? Each year, this is there. But if you observe some over here, if you observe carefully now, all the data are same over here. This is not the error. But while creating the data, we did copy paste for each country and for each year. Hence, you are getting the same. I will show you a little bit different over here. So now 46710 is the total sales of 2010 quarter one. Now, I come over here and intentionally 2010 quarter one, I'm changing from 99 to, for example, 299, just 200 rupees I'm increasing over here. So if I come over here and if I say right click and if I say refresh, so now you see this number changed. Now it became 910, right? So all the numbers I have done copy pasted, hence it's showing you the same numbers, but the answer is correct. Now I will wait over here for 2 to 3 minutes and I want you to create the report. I will quickly tell you how you will create. You will go to the data, insert, pivot, okay. Transaction date, you will put it under the row. Amount, you will put it under the value. Done. After that, you will right click on this date and you will click on group. Then you will select year and quarters. You will uncheck the month. You will get the report. Then you will keep the year under the row and then transaction date, you will put it under the column and you get year wise, quarter wise report with the values inside it. Got it? Do it and then we will quickly move ahead. Okay, when done, put it under the chat box saying done. Okay, friends, so good. So we saw country wise, city wise, year wise, what is row, what is column, what is values. We saw how do you do count, average, percentage. Now it's a time to learn the concept of filters. Okay, some amazing thing we will learn now. And here I'm going to introduce you to the slicer. Pay attention and you will love it. So here you got each year, each quarter, how much is the sales? Done? Okay. But the question is, This yearly sales, this 46910, it's of which country? I have a data of three different countries. I have UAE, I have Oman, and I have of India. So this data is of all the three countries, and your manager is handling one country. So he will say, Ramzan, show me year-wise, quarter-wise sales of my country. This is at a group level. So what I will do is I will take the country and put it under the filter. As soon as I put it under the filter, which is a top level filter, here on row one, you get country all. So now when you click on it and I say UAE, so I get only the UAE. So I have a UAE data of 2010 to 13 only. That's why it's showing that. I say India, I get for India. And if I say for Oman, and I have for Oman. All 4 years data we had divided for each country actually. So all each country will not have all the years data. So again, I say all and I work is done. If you go more in this, so I say, for example, in that I want to put a salesperson. So here you will say, for example, okay, UAE, these are the total sales, but in this total sales, I want to see for particular one person. I want to see for Arif. Arif, nothing is there. Achha, I think Arif data was for Oman. In Oman, Arif data is there. So if I come over here and if I say Oman, okay, so I will get Arif data over here. Again, I come over here and I say all. So this is a concept of filter, but this can be done in a more beautiful way. And the way is something like this. I come inside the data. Either you put in the filter here or you go to the insert tab, and in insert now there is an option slicer, this one, insert a slicer. And in that slicer, remember this insert slicer. In slicer, you will take a country and you will take salesperson. Lovely. And I say, okay, you get a slicer. So I move this over here. The slicers are also like a filters, and I will just make it small. Again, I come over here and let's make it a little bit more small. If you love color from the top, you can change the color also and make it beautiful. So now if I give this to my management, they can click on UAE and they get for UAE. India, Oman, I click on UAE and I click on Abdullah. UAE, Abdullah, David, Dinesh, John, Kumail, Nancy. Amazing. And I click on this option, clear filter. Again, I click on this and I say clear filter. Amazing. So either you put your heading over here under the country and you get over here the filter part. Either you do this or you come over here, go to the insert and click on slicer and you add a slicer. So anyone you can do. In old time we were using a filter, but now they have added a separate slicer for this, which becomes an interactive. Okay. So I want you to give it a try. Just remember, don't put the cursor outside. If you put cursor outside and you say insert slicer, you will get this message. If you get this message, it means your cursor is outside the data. Put your cursor inside the pivot, go to insert tab, and from here you insert the slicer. Got it? Do it. When done, put it under the chat box saying done, and then we will move ahead. Okay, friends. So now we have created country-wise, city-wise, year-wise. We saw grouping, we saw refresh, adding data, do average, count, percentage, adding slicer, what is filter. Everything is done. But still there are many things in pivot which can be explained. But we have a less time. And now we have 1 more hour to go. So in that 1 hour, I will not show you more option of pivot, but I will try to show you how you bring now all these reports together, which is the main aim of this session, that you created separate report on 3 different sheets. Like this, you can create 10 reports, but all these 10 reports will come on 10 different sheets. And your manager has to go on each sheet. Okay, year wise, click over here. City wise, click on this sheet. Country wise, click on this.
Yeah.
No, you will try to create all these reports in one sheet in a text base. And then we will convert that text into a chart. Okay. So now next 1 hour, almost 55 minutes, we will devote on this. Half an hour on creating text-based reports, half an hour on converting all text into the chart. So next more 1 hour, you have to be with me. And now I am starting with the session. And now you have to pay attention. And now it will not happen just in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I will give you time for practice. Now I will go at a length for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and I explain entire concept to you. And then I will give you 5 minutes, 10 minutes for practicing. Okay? Let's move ahead. Be relaxed. See what I'm doing. Recording is happening. You will get it. And I will also revise it for you point wise so that when you want to do, you can do it quickly. I'm starting the option. Now, what I'm going to show you in next 10 minutes is this. How do you put all the reports on one screen? This is our main aim. Okay. So now what I will do is I will delete all the sheets or you hide it. Okay. So I come over here, right click and I say hide, right click, I say hide, right click and I say hide. Now let's say you have only one data. And again, I will repeat the process. So now I'm going to the insert and I use say pivot. You converted your data into table. Now my answer and your answer will be different because I have converted changes to Dinesh. I have added Arif, Asif and everybody down. So your answer, my answer will be different. Now I say, okay, I got a sheet and I will rename this sheet quickly as report. Done. And now my work starts. Pay attention. Next 10 minutes, you have to sit and see what I'm doing. Okay. So what I'm doing over here is I'm creating a first report. And let's say I create a simple report coupon wise. So I take the coupon, put it under the row. So I got, okay, coupon, no coupon. And I come over here and you take the amount and you will put it under the sales value. So you got the first report through coupon, this much is the sale. Without coupon, this much is the sale. Now what you do, what we do, we again go to the data and we say insert pivot. And then again a new sheet is created. This is the process. Here you will change it. Now you will not go there. You will be over here only. And over here you will say Control A, select all. Not like this. No, not whole sheet. Only this pivot. Control A, that is for select all. Ah, okay. So I say copy. Yes, you are right. You are right. You will say copy. What is the next step then? And then you will put your cursor below the data. You will leave 1 or 2 rows and you will say paste. That is Control V for paste. You just copy the data and you pasted it down. Now what you will do? Same pivot got pasted, but in a second pivot, I don't need coupon because it's already there in my first report. So I will uncheck the coupon in a second pivot. I will uncheck the coupon and I will say I need a payment method wise. So I took payment method wise. So I come over here and got each payment. What is the total sales? Listen very carefully. Again, I say Control A this. Again, I say copy. Again, I come down and say paste. Now here you should be very smart in understanding this also, that in future, if you think that more payment method might increase in my data, then here you will not leave 1 row, you will give 2-3 rows gap so that when you refresh, you have sufficient space. Got it? No coupon and no coupon is not going to change. Only 2 items are there, always 2 description headings are there. So it's okay. Acha, I come on the third one and in the third one, I remove the payment method and I need connection type. It is a prepaid or a postpaid. I got a third report. Understanding? Never do this mistake. Some of you might say, okay, I will do very fast. And what you will do, I know that. You will copy this and you will come here, you will say paste, you will say paste, you will say paste, and then you will say, oh, quickly, I will change the column and for quickly, it is not going to happen. You are going to get error and you will get an error, pivot overlapping error. You will not able to adjust the space. So don't do that. The way I have explained you, do that. Copy, paste it down, change the column. Again, copy, paste it down. change the column. Go with this method. Again, I come on the third one, copy. Achha, now here it's not necessary that you copy the third one only. No, you just copy the first one also. You say copy. Again, I go over here and I say paste, and I say double click, adjust the column width. And here, let me say transaction date. Okay, so I take a transaction date. Perfect. But I don't want so many years of data. I just need 3-4 years of data. So I just say right click and I say group, and I say over here Excel, I don't need quarter wise, only year wise. But in year wise also, I click on it and I say, hey, unselect all. And I say, just show me 2021, 2020, and 2019, only 3 years of data. Halas. So I created 3 years. Again, I come on the first one, I say copy. Again, I come over here and I say paste. I remove the coupon and I say, I need a salesperson wise, or let's say country wise. So I click over here and I get sales of each country. Again, I say copy. I go down and I say paste. I remove the country and I say, I need a salesperson wise. So I put the salesperson wise. Amazing. Again, I copy this. And again, oh, I have on the left hand side some space. So let's adjust it over here. So I say paste. I remove the salesperson and I say, I need a plan wise, different plan. Wow. So each plan, how much amount I'm getting, I got that. So did you observe how many reports I created? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I don't do this way, then I would have got 7 different sheets. Here on one sheet, I got everything. This is the first step. So what is the first step? Copying one pivot, pasting it down and changing the column. Step number 1. There are 6 to 7 steps. Wait. I come over here. The second step is changing the heading. Changing the heading. So I go over here and I say, okay, this is my coupon wise. This is my payment wise. This heading is my prepaid and postpaid. So this is my connection type wise. And this is my plan wise. This is person wise. This is my country wise. And this is your yearly. Got it? And I guess there is one more report. No, there is no report. So that's the second step, was changing the country heading. The third step is changing the color of each pivot. You see, all are looking same, right? Let's make it little bit beautiful. So I come over here and I say in the home, there is an option format as table. So I go to the medium. I love this. But if you want to try something else, you like a dark mode or a very light, you can surely try it. I personally use a medium one. So I go over here and I change the look and feel of each of the pivot. It will not take more than 30 seconds. Home, format as table, to do that, but it will really look amazing. Now you see, looks nice. And let's do again, change this into somebody else. Okay, something else. Got it? So this becomes my look and feel wise amazing. So first, copying, pasting. Second, changing the heading. Third, changing the color. Fourth, removing the grid lines. I don't like these grid lines. I go to the view and there is an option grid lines. You uncheck it. It will become white. Fifth step, I wanted to create the heading for my report. What is the heading? So I select that the area this much. Don't select entire row. Otherwise, when you merge it, then the center will come somewhere in some another column. You just select only the top and you say merge it. Some people don't like merge, they use some other option. Can use that, but here I'm quickly showing merge and center. So all these cells become one. Okay. And over here now, I will put some color. You can put light, some light color and all. So I say over here this, and I say over here summary report. You can put the name of the company. So let's say, for example, I say upgrade skill and I type the, that's all. I think it's for all. So global. Okay. So let's say I put this and now I will come over here and let's make it white. Let's increase the size to 12. Let's increase the row a little bit and let's make it a center. Simple. You wanted to make bold, make it bold. I'm not doing. Perfect. Now what? Wait, one more step is pending. On this, you can even add a slicers. You can even add a slicers on it. So what you will do is on the right hand side, you can add a slicer. If you wish, you can even do like this. You can add a slicer on the left hand side. Let's add on the left hand side, no problem. So I come over here and I fill the color and again I will say the merge, something like this. And let me increase the column width from here so that I have sufficient space over here for this. Amazing. Now what we will do, I will put my cursor on coupon. Observe very carefully, friend. This is very important point I'm going to tell you. You go to the insert and in the insert, you get an option slicer. On which I'm adding? On coupon, I'm adding a slicer. So this slicer will be applicable only for the coupon pivot report, but we will connect it to others also. I will show you. So I say insert a slicer and then I will say slicer of country and I say okay. And I take this slicer nicely. I will put it over here. Let's make it a little bit small from here and let's make it small from here also. Got it? I got one slicer for country. Again, I come on the coupon. Again, I go to insert and I say I need another slicer. And I need another slicer for salesperson. Always I do. I wanted to see that as well. So I take a salesperson. Nicely, I will put it over here. Let's make it a little bit small from here. Can I do two columns? Will it look nice? Oh, it will look nice, but I think space is little less. Now, let's adjust it. So I come over here and let's make it a little bit bigger. And let's adjust it something from here. Lovely. And again, I come over here and I make it a little small. You wanted to change the color of a slicer. Can I make this also 2? So I go to the slicer and I say make it 2 and let's bring it a little bit, make it a little bit big. Let's adjust it from here. If I make 3 columns, what will happen? Oh, I don't think it is showing Oman. So let's keep it 2. Let's take this salesperson, move it a little bit up. Okay, lovely. Amazing. Done. Now, last point I'm showing you. Now, when I click on UAE, only this is changing. India, this is changing. Oman, this is changing. I click on the clear, changing. But now I want, when I click on UAE, it should change all of my pivots, all in one go. How do you do that? So I click on a slicer and on the top, there is an option slicer. If you are using old version of Excel, means previous version of Excel, like 2016, in that on the top, you will not find slicer. You will find option, like you select the slicer. On the top, you will find a slicer option. Okay. So over here, slicer, you will go to the option report connection. What you will do? You will go to the option this report connection. Click on it and you will get this screen. And here you wanted to connect this pivot, this slicer to which pivot. So here I have a sheet with the name reports. In reports, these are my slicer. These are my report pivots. So here the sheet name is there and you see this is a country sheet. So we are not, because we have hided that. So we are concerned with this report. So all these are the report sheets and these are the pivots name of each pivot. Actually, you can change the name also. If you have sufficient time now, you can change the name like this. I will just give you, show you. I come first on the coupon, this pivot. On the top, pivot table analyze, and you see the name of this pivot is pivot table 4. So I say make it coupon. So now the name of this pivot is coupon. So how it will benefit? So when I select the slicer and go to the report connection, I will know this is the pivot name. So this is the pivot. Otherwise, you have to just randomly check. So let's spend few minutes. I come on yearly, pivot table analyze, and I say over here yearly. Okay. Again, like this. Yeah, I will repeat it. So I come, oh, I'm repeating for all the pivots. So you will, so I come on this pivot. I go to the pivot table analyze, and I'm again changing the name, and I say this is payment wise. This is my payment pivot. I come on the country pivot table analyze, and pivot table name. So I say, for example, this is my country. Again, I go on a connection, pivot table analyze, and I will say this is my connection pivot. Again, I come on the person and pivot table name, and I say this is my person wise, and you have another, there is a plan wise. So I come over here, pivot table analyze. You might not get pivot table analyze, but you might get only analyze. And over here, you will say plan wise. Done. So I have renamed the pivot. It took 1 minute, but it will help you. So now I click on a slicer. Now what I will do, on the top, I will go to this slicer option. You will not get slicer if you are using old version. You will get option. You go to the report connection, and in that now you will see all the names. So these are the names of the sheets. And I say I wanted to connect to the connection pivot, country pivot, all this. So I wanted, when I click on this slicer now, this country should not change. Like when I click on UAE, then here it will show me only UAE. So this should not update. Just giving you the idea. So I uncheck the country and I say, okay, want to see the magic? I click on UAE. Wow, everything changed. But here it's showing me India, Oman, and UAE, all three. If I select on India, everything is changing. Oman, everything is amazing. Again, I come over here. I show you once again. I click on it, and on the top, you go to the slicer. And in slicer, you go to the report connection. And in that, I select now country also. Now it will update. You see. I click on UAE, India, Oman, UAE, India, Oman. Again, click on it. Let's do for salesperson. So I go to the salesperson over here. And in salesperson, again, I go to the slicer. Again, I go to the report connection. And I say connect this pivot, this slicer, to all the other pivots which are present in this report sheets yearly also. Amazing. Lovely. So if we click on Abdullah, it will show me Abdullah yearly sales, how much he did through coupon, through which payment people paid to Abdullah, how much he did sales for prepaid and postpaid, and this is Abdullah record only. Amazing. This is amazing. Like this now, friends, I have shown you 2 slicers. You can add more slicer on the right hand side. Go ahead and add it. Like, for example, I come on coupon, I will show you. Insert. Again, I say slicer. And now I need, let's say, Maslana connection type I took. And I say, okay, so I get connection type, prepaid and postpaid. Again, I make it small. And let's say I put it over here. And let's adjust it something like this. Let's make 2 column. Let's make it small. Lovely. Now, what I have to do? And I have to now again come on the slicer. I have to go to the report connection, and I say connect this slicer to this pivot, this pivot, this pivot, this pivot, this pivot, and I say yearly, and I say okay, lovely. Hey, I love color, so why I have not changed? Let me make it little color changing here. Okay, done everybody. And this is amazing. Click on it and everything is changed. This is bad what I see now. What do you know? You see sometimes this happens, no? Like you click on UI, this means the format of this becomes width wise and this, no? So I don't want it to change. There is one option I will show you. Wait. You have to right click on a pivot, and then you have to go to pivot table option. I know I'm explaining many things. You have to remember, but what should I do? Pivot table option. And in that, there is an option display. No, not in display, in this one, layout and format here. Huh? Auto fit column width on update. What does it mean? Whenever you right click and refresh now, it changes the column width. I don't want it to change. I want it to be stable. So this auto fit, always switch it off. Means it's up to you. I prefer it to stop so that I see the report on a same width. Okay. Again and again, it does not become like this. Okay. And I see, okay. So now whenever you will do right click and refresh and all, and you click, your this is not going to change. Now see, it is not changing, right? So this is something amazing which you should do it. Let me see, right click and pivot here. It applied on his own. What I should do, first time when you create a pivot, that time only you change this setting and then do the copy paste. So that setting which you have applied for first pivot is just repeated for everybody. Now you see I have to right click on this, and again I say pivot table option, and here the setting is on. So for each pivot now I have to do it. So you should plan that all this setting now. First you create one pivot, do all these things, and then only you copy paste it, so it becomes easy for you as well. Now it should not be a problem. Now it will not change, you see. Correct, good. I click on anything, it's same only. Lovely. This is actual Excel, and this is actually, now this column is very big. Why? Because of our plan. This plan, our name is very big, na? So because of that. Understood, everybody? I don't know how much time I took. I think it took more than 27. Na? So we started around 9. I think I took 27 minutes, 26, 27 minutes. But now you also have to prepare this, but you will do it quickly because I was speaking and explaining. So I think I will wait here for a few minutes, and I want you to give it a try. But before you give it a try, I will take 1 more minute and I will write down the steps for you so that you understand, you remember. Okay. So what I will do, I will say over here steps. Those who want to write it down, write it down. Those who wanted to copy it, feel free. I'm doing this. Step number 1. So should I type step over here? Steps, and I type 1, 2, and then I come on the corner and I just drag it 10. I think we should complete in 10 steps. Okay. Step number 1, create coupon wise report. You create a coupon wise report. Copy coupon wise report and paste it down and the column of change the column of a second pivot. Okay. I hope you will understand this. Let's make it a little bit small so that you can see it. Make this little small. Okay. Okay. Step number 3, you will do copy, paste it down and change. Okay. The third step is change the heading of each pivot. Fourth step, change the color of each pivot. How you will change? In the home, there is an option, format table. Okay? After that, what you will do? You will go to the view and you will uncheck grid lines. After that, what you will do? After that, create the heading, that is summary report upgrade skill, or whatever you want, you can just do it. Okay. After this, you will give the color and heading you will make. After that, insert one column on left side, the A column. I will just write this so you remember A column, and then select coupon pivot. That is the first pivot. And then you will say insert. In that you will say slicer. Okay. After the slicer, what you will do, after inserting the slicer, what you will do, slicer, change the color of slicer if you wish. Okay. After that, what you will do, change the color of each slicer. After that, connect the slicer for to all the pivots. Connect the slicer to all the reports. How you will connect? Select slicer, and after selecting slicer, what you will do? You will go to the slicer option, slicer or options. I will write this slicer or option, and in that you will click on report connection. Okay, and you will do this. Actually, before this, there is one more step. You can change the name of each of the pivot also, that you can just add it. So these are the 10 steps which you have to do. So I took around 30 minutes to do this. So now what I suggest you, take out your mobile now and quickly take a photo of this, or only the step, so that you remember and quickly it's in front of your eyes and you can see it if you want. Or I can even copy this and paste it in a chat box, but just see if you are able to copy that from the chat box. Oh, somebody sent a message. This is awesome. Altaf, yes, this is awesome. Thank you. Sarfraz says one question. Yes, Sarfraz, go ahead and ask me, sir, your question.
Uh, I I just want to ask one thing, and that to one sheet we created multiple uh, reports.
Hmm.
In if we are adding another sheet and we are creating the more reports, okay, can we connect all the reports in summary reports?
Yeah, why not? You
So
can do
what?
it.
So whatever we can add the reports, we can create the summary reports of that one. Correct?
Yes, yes. And even you can connect the slicer to other sheet. Like this is a country slicer. I
So
click on this, I go to the slicer, I go to the report connection, and here now you have connected this to this pivots. Now you see there is another sheet with the name city wise, which we hide it. So even you can
correct.
connect this to this. You can just check, you can do it.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, friends. So now what I will do, I will stop the video here so that you get few minutes for practice. And I'm giving you 10 minutes to do the practice. And in that period, if you have any question, feel free to ask me. Thank you. Okay, everybody. So we are moving a little bit more ahead. And now I will show you how do you convert this all text-based summary report, which you can present it to the management into the nice looking charts and all. Okay. So let's take any company name. This is basically the telecom type data. Na? So let's take anything, like you can take Airtel, Do, or any company at the Salat. So what I do, I just go to the browser, and I will just go to the Google, and I will just type Vodafone, and I got the website of Vodafone. I click on a Vodafone website, And I just wanted to see the logo and color little bit. We will take it something from there. And yeah, I think this is the logo of I say accept all. Okay, let them see what I am doing and what user is doing on their website. So I think this is the color of this. Okay, let me click on the logo, and can I right click? Oh, I'm not able to click on this. Huh? So what I will do is I have a snapping. You can take a print screen also. I have a snipping tool, snipping. So I just say new and I just say copy this. So I'm just taking everything, no ready-made. Everything I will show you from scratch actually how we work. Oh, this logo is very nice. But let's see if I can save it. Ah, I can save it. Good, it came. I said, save image as in downloads. I say Boda logo. Okay. So I downloaded the logo of there, and just to play with it means show you. And then what I do is I open a PowerPoint because I wanted to know the color of it, means the what is the color of that. So I go to the insert in PowerPoint and I say insert picture. Sorry. And I say download and I select the Vodafone logo. Let me make it small. Oh, sorry, let me crop it from here. Let me do the crop. I can avoid this, all the things. I can just put the heading, but why I'm doing intentionally, so that you get an idea how I'm doing, actually how we work. So I make it a little bit small. And now I will show you some very amazing thing. And I wanted to know this same color is which combination so that I can put it in my background. Huh? Insert, sorry, insert, and I say shape. I know India people, it's already 11, few minutes more. So I go to the shape. See what I'm doing. I created a circle box and I want to fill the same this color over here. Now, so you see how I'm doing. I go to the shape and I say eyedropper. And I take an eyedropper and I click on this color. And this same color will be filled over here. Why I'm doing this, so that when I get the color in the box, now I go to the shape fill and I say fill mole color. Why I'm going over here in this option, so that I can see the combination of this hexa value. So red is 230. Okay, I came to know this is red is 230. RGB 230. Khalas. RGB 230. No? Wait, I'm going to show you something why I'm doing all these things. Now I will insert a sheet, and you see this is a blank sheet, right? Nothing is there in this sheet. Now we will make it something amazing. Okay. So now what we will do over here is I will first select the heading, and I will select the heading, and we'll add the color. Till why? I will come over here and I say add the more color, and in more color I say custom red. Na? It was how much? 230. So 230 green is 0. This is 0. So I think this is a perfect red color of Vodafone. Okay, I got it. Now I will just increase the size of it. Okay. And if you want, you can make it merged. So I say merge, and I type the over here sales dashboard, and I say Vodafone. I make it center, bold, sorry, white, and let's say increase the font of it. Okay. So Altaf said, right, everything is Golwal. What you have what to do, Altaf? You tell me. We have to do little bit. Okay? So again, I come over here and I say insert, and I say this device, insert the picture. In Excel, I clicked on insert picture and I said, let's say downloads, and I selected the Vodafone and I make it. Oh, it came full only. I had done the crop. Oh, I had not saved that. No problem. Chalo, it's okay. These are small things. So it's not a big thing, but just to give you the idea, I'm doing all these things. And let's say I made this little small, and let's make this also little small, and let's put it nicely over here. Okay. Or you can even do this way. I just unmerge everything. I will just merge from B till end so that the starting area now I can put. Actually, all these things need time to design a dashboard now. We need a time. If you have a time, then you can do many things. Again, I copy this. When you have time, you can do all these things. And here I come, I remove the color, and here I put the logo of it. Okay, let's make it small. Okay, let's do it something like this. Okay, I hope the recording is on. Recording is on. Okay, now I have added the this. Now what? Now on the left hand side, let's discuss. Nothing ready made. I don't want to take a ready made template and then put it. No, I want to show everything on screen. So this is the area where I think I will put a slicers. I just make it over here outside border. I just put the border here just to remember. Then here now I will, there are seven, no? Seven reports. It means seven charts. So let me check. Time will take, friends. Don't rush. You will learn. This you will not get then. So I say coupon wise is a small report. Yearly is the second report. Country wise is a third report, and connection. So I will take these four reports and put it under the top. And this three big report, person wise, payment wise, plan wise, I will put it down. So on the top, I can take 3, 4, or below I take 3 or 4. No problem. Let's do it. Okay. And on the top here, I want total sales. So here I need a total sales. So what I will do is I will select this. I come over here and I click on the color, same color. So here I will say total sales. I select it, merge, make it bold, and make it 12 size. Okay, done. Here I'm going to put a total sales in this area. So I select this area and I can add an outside border. Let me remove the grid lines. Okay. So now here now I go to the home and I say I need a outside border. This is a one-time job, friends. And here I will say merge it. Let's merge it. It went like this. So I copy this. I went over here and I want one over here. One HIJK4. Na? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And I put it over here. Lovely. Everything in front of your eyes. So I want to show total sales. And I wanted to here say what can be shown over here. Unique countries. Serving how many countries we are serving. And over here you can say average sales, or you can say total transactions. See, now it's up to your data, friends. You might say, no, Ramzan, I don't want unique country. I want something else. So it's up to you what you want to show in the top most. Okay, so I wanted to show this. Then here I need 1 report, 2 report, 3, 4. How I will plan. This is merged. This is unique countries. Here you will get this. So let's plan it. Let's do it this way. So I go to the reports here and I say insert, and over here there is an option chart, insert chart here, and I say column chart. So I got column chart. Let's adjust it first and then we will see. And from here I say cut, cut and paste. So I say cut from this sheet, and where you will go, in a sheet 5 paste. Oh, I have not renamed this sheet till now. Why? I say dashboard. Hello. Done. Pay attention, interesting point I will going to give you. I put this over here. Let's make it little small and let's do some formatting. So I click on the total, delete, click on this line, delete, click on this number, delete, right click on this buttons and say hide. Okay, good. Again, I click on the total and I say this is a coupon wise. This is my coupon wise. Lovely. Now I want the numbers. So I say right click on blue color, add data label. Wanted to change this blue color to this red color, but I think all red will look too much. Let's do this way. So I copy this and I paste it down here. Let's say here, and I say this is my coupon wise, but in this I will increase it something like this, little bit bigger, so that I can place this nicely over here, and let's make it small. Okay. And let's remove the outline. So I say no outline. I will repeat this all once again, don't worry. This also you can, I can do this. Okay. Now I will copy this coupon and I will view one. I want it one over here, one over here, and I will say I need one over here. Lovely. I think it got perfectly adjusted. So I gave a coupon wise here. Then I need a yearly. Na? So I think here I will say year wise report. No, I will just say year wise. Let's keep it standard. Then I will say country wise and connection type. So I say country wise and I say connection type. Got it? He said pie chart. Na? For country, we will create a pie chart. Insert and I say insert pie chart. Okay? Control X. Go here and say, oh, what I did. Control X and I say Control V. And I paste it over here. We will add slicer and everything. Huh? You have to give me a few minutes. So I click and I say delete, right click, hide, click this heading total, delete. Oh, here also I don't need heading. Na? I deleted that also heading. Good. I don't need an outline for this format. No outline. So now I will take this, put it here. Let's make it a little small. I wanted to add a percentage to it. So I go to the design and over here I get some of the percentage, or you can just right click on it, add data labels and say add data label. Oh, but I got the numbers. Now I need percentage. So I click on the top and let's put percentage and let's change the design. All design, I don't want this over here. So I delete this. Right click on 34%, format data labels, and here now you get one option, category name. This I wanted. So yes, I know you have to remember all these things. So don't worry, we are recording the video. So you will get it. And because this will need time for practice, means it will need half an hour. You can't do this in 5-10 minutes. Again, I click format, shape outline, and I say no outline. Lovely. Go on, see. 5-10 minutes more, year wise. I take this, and now over here I insert a line chart. Control X, go here and say Control V. Again, I put it over here and I delete this total. I delete this line, click, delete, right click, hide, and let's make it little small. Perfect. I don't want an outline. So shape outline and I will say no outline. You want to put the numbers, right click and say add the numbers. But this numbers actually, I don't want, I want down. So you can right click, format data label, and there is an option over here above and below. So I say below. Okay, you got this as well. Let's move it over here and let's move it over here. Got it? Amazing. And now let's add some slicer. So I click on a coupon. Now see, and now I'm starting with the slicer part. I say insert. You can insert more over here down. So I selected one chart and I'm saying insert slicer on that chart. So I need a slicer of country. I took a country over here. I put it nicely over here. Adjust it. Make it 2 column. Bring this down and your work is done. Again, I click on the coupon, insert, and I say slicer of a salesperson, and I say okay. And I got a slicer for a salesperson. Again, let's make it a little small. Let's make it 2 column. Let's adjust it over here. Again, I go on the coupon and I say insert and I say slicer and I say I need a connection type wise and I say okay. Let's make it small. Let's make it 2 column. Let's come over here and let's adjust. If you want to add one more down, you can surely go ahead. We have a space and you can add it one more. Let's change the color so that it looks a little different and your work is done. Got it? Amazing. Now I want over here to add a total sales. So you will say equal sum, open a bracket, some formula. You go to the sales data and here I want overall sales. So I click on the heading and I say enter. So I got a total sales. Let's make it center. Let's increase the font size to 14 or let's make it 15. Let's make it green color. Let's make it bold. Again, I say over here, copy, paste, paste. But I need over here unique countries I'm serving. So I will say equal unique. This unique formula, many of you will not get because this unique formula is available only in the latest version 365. So if you don't get unique, then you have to remove the duplicates or you can just type manually how many. So I just say equal unique. I go to the sales data and I select the country, the city, country. So I come on the UAE and I select till down. So I get 3. I get error. Okay, because let me try this way. Equal and I say unique because it is this one. So I select this one. Let's give equal unique and let me do it from here. Then I come over here and let's say, oh, it's giving me spell because, oh no, why it's giving you spell, you know, I come to know now. Because spell is will give you unique name of country. UAE, Abu Dhabi, UAE, India, Oman, and below there is no space because of that. So we actually want a count, means unique with count. So actually you have to say equal count A, and in that if I say unique, and let's try this way, and I come on this data, and if I select it, and if I say enter, and I get 3. So unique with count. Okay, unique with count. Total transaction, I just say equal count A, basic formula, you know there are how many transactions. So I come over here and I just select the any column I can select. So let's say I select only this column and enter. So I get 4321, but 4321 are not the transaction. 4320, because one is the heading. No? So here you will say -1. So total transaction, unique countries, and total sales. Now we have a connection type. So again, I go to the connection type. Again, I go to the insert, and here I need a bar chart. So I say bar chart, Control X, and again I go here and I say Control V for paste. And here I do quickly, okay? So 1, 2, right click, hide, click, delete, right click, add data label, delete the total word, and then format, shape fill, small point, and say no fill. Make it small. Come over here and move it over here. Let's make it a little bit more small. And let's adjust it nicely. Perfect. Let's bring it from here a little bit small. Okay. So now you got it. Want to see the magic? Below also we can add, but I don't think now time is permitting. Let's stop over here. But before I go, stop. I click on this UAE, so only this is changing. Oh, all are changing because it is linked over there. No? Let me check, because in previous sheet I had already linked slicer, and yeah, it is connected. Amazing. So if I click on Abdullah over here, everything is changing. Amazing. Except the heading, huh? Because that is not slicer. That is not going to change. Amazing. So this way, basically, I say only postpaid. So all the things of postpaid only. Through postpaid, how much coupon? No coupon, year-wise, country-wise, and only postpaid. Through prepaid. Amazing. Again, I click on this and my work is done. Let's do it for others very quickly, friends. So I say on the person-wise, insert, slicer, last few minutes. And I say insert, and I come over here and I say column chart, Control X. Can we do like this? Can I sort it on the amount so that when I create it comes perfectly? And I say insert and I say chart. Lovely. Control X. Go here and say Control V. And let's make it little small. And over here, I say delete. I say delete, delete, delete. Right click, hide, click, delete. Right click, add the data label. Go to the format and I say no outline. Done. And let's make it little small. And now I will take one of the heading and I will say I need over here one more heading over here. So I put the heading and I will say, for example, person wise. Okay. You can adjust this heading. Come here and let's move it up. Let's take this and let's move it up and let's make it small. And let's increase the merge of it. And your work is done. Lovely. Let's remove the shape outline. No outline. Got it? So now when I click on Abdullah, everything is changing. Got it? If I click on UAE, you are getting UAE people details. It's amazing. Got it? So this, you see how the sheet was looking and how beautiful we made it. So this was the data which nobody can understand. You converted this data into the meaningful reports, and on that you created all these things. So I think, friends, it's around 2 hours 10 minutes, and I think we should stop over here. So now we have a feedback form for this session. We will do it feedback in a chat box. I will send it to you. But now we will take a group photo. So I'm just stopping the recording, and I hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you so much. The recording will be shared with all of you.